We would like to start with a scenario. I just came home from my family vacation. My TEDx first draft is due on Tuesday, and as a very responsible older sibling, I also have math homework and science homework due the same day. But
when I came back from my vacation, I also had a TEDx draft due on Tuesday and math homework. There was still 4 days until school started, and as the best little brother,
and as the irritating little brother,
I chose to take 2 days off to play the best game I just got. On the second day, though, my sister banged the door open. She didn't look as calm as I was.
How do you expect me, the bossy older sibling, to be calm when we're not even halfway done with our TEDx draft? I'm stressing out about my tests, and I've also got a match the next day.
We had it all under control, though, see?
Not if I wasn't mature enough to make the right decisions.
Every day, we all face thousands of decisions. Some of these are minor, like choosing the perfect snack, and others are major, like choosing the career you want to pursue in life.
Both major and minor decisions are made through processes in the brain. For example, to choose between an apple and cake, the brain has to first process the sensory information. This consists of seeing the green skin on the apple and smelling the sweet cake. Then the sensory information is transported into the association areas. Researchers have thought that the role in the brain is to connect different pieces of information from our eyes, ears, nose, mouth, and skin.
Another important question is, why would we choose one option over another? The brain's reward circuitry area is the next part which takes a role in this process. This part of our brain is essential for comparing the values of two different options. You might want the cake because of the way it smells or tastes, but you don't want to end up spending hours in the gym later on. Then there's the frontal cortex, which is known to control voluntary action. Research shows us this part of our brain prepares to move once it has gathered enough information throughout the whole process.
There are many different factors that change the way people think and decide, but the ones we will be focusing on today are gender, age, and birth order. Gender and hormones affect the way the human brain develops, and recognizing these differences can help us understand why usually female and male brains have contrasting learning styles and behavioral patterns. The cortex in our brain consists of gray matter and white matter. Gray matter is packed with cell bodies, while white matter is mainly composed of myelinated axons that form connections between our brain cells.
The male brain has a higher percentage of white matter, and the female brain has more gray matter. Having more gray matter clarifies why young females are faster in processing information, usually have stronger verbal skills, and often exceed at multitasking. Having more white matter helps the male brain build up their spatial skills, such as navigation and solving math problems.
As a young child grows into a teenager, their brains grow too, by becoming faster, sharper, and more specialized. They develop higher reasoning abilities, broaden their capacity for critical thinking, understand different question structures like how and why questions, look into complex issues, and evaluate all options before coming to a decision. Right now, I'm in the stage in life where all my peers and I are trying to keep up with the speed of high school. More tests, more assignments, new teachers, new grading system. It's not easy. And in all this chaos, we're trying our best to succeed. But success requires many different skills that are hard to acquire, like note-taking, time management, studying.
My sister did not acquire any of these skills at the beginning of the year, until she finally realized she needed to come to the professional. Aytek, Yenisen the Great. That's me, by the way. Usually nowadays I get home and my sister has to go up to study for her social studies test or for her upcoming math quiz. Some teenagers also smoke and drink. Many parents do not understand why teenagers act in such irrational or dangerous ways. The biological reason is shown in the studies of the brain, and the result is that it continues to mature and develop throughout the years of childhood, adolescence, and into early adulthood.
In pictures of our brain in action, we can see that an adult's brain is very different than an adolescent's brain when problem solving and decision making. Adolescents my age are mostly stirred by the emotional and reactive amygdala and less by the logical frontal cortex. Also, as my brother mentioned before, exposure to drugs and alcohol during these years can postpone or change these developments.
Another important topic we want to talk about briefly is birth order. Birth order is
What it sounds like. It's the order you were born in a family. So whether you're first child...
or second child.
Stop interrupting me when I speak, okay?
Hey, you cut me off first.
Anyway, research shows us that birth order does alter some factors in siblings. Firstborns are known to be more successful in their lives. For example, 21 of the first 23 astronauts were firstborns, and half of the US presidents have also been firstborns. We're also overrepresenting in US Supreme Court justices, Rhodes, scholars, physicians, academics, and Ivy League universities. As you can see, firstborns are just much better than secondborns.
Sorry to burst your bubble, but secondborns are generally independent, less fearful, and less anxious. Some of us are creative and adaptive. We are also taught to negotiate and compromise. After all these explanations, I am sure you know which child is the better one. It is crystal clear
that the firstborn is better.
Can you stop interrupting me? As I was saying, it is crystal clear that the secondborns are better. At least I'm 100% that's the case for our family.
I'm gonna let him think that because I don't want to go down to his level. Now we would like to go back to our first scenario and explain the things we had to do and the decisions we had to make to be here on our TEDx stage. So after I went into his room and told him we had to do our TEDx draft, the answer I got was, I know, did you just remember?
I didn't say it with a deep voice.
Again, interrupting me. Remember, we're not supposed to do that. Anyway, I went into his room and told him to get off his PlayStation and open the computer to be asked this question. What am I supposed to do? And because I'm an amazing older sibling,
Janset, we're supposed to tell the truth here, remember?
I told him to research for the brains for different genders.
More like shouted, how am I supposed to know? I haven't written the draft yet. You're supposed to know what to write. And after that, I zoned out. But I knew she kept going.
I did not shout. I said it in a voice that led his writing process of this draft. And here we are, delivering our speech that was hopefully enjoyable and informative. We would just like to make sure that all ladies, gentlemen, and children in this room know that it doesn't matter if you're firstborn or secondborn.
Girl or boy.
Young or old.
We are all human, and that is what matters.
Thank you.